Yeah, and also a big returning asset is big tackle for us, our right tackle, Aiden Norris, who has been out for about 3 weeks with a knee injury. So he's going to really help us physically up front. We've been kind of patching things together, so it's good to have him back.
Yep.
I see Logan Galbraith back to his traditional 44. He's been wearing 53 the last few weeks, being a guard. Next correction, Gabe is not kicking off, Gabe Stouffer. That's our freshman.
Parker Dom. Parker fresh off the soccer team about 3 weeks ago, and is kicking real well for us.
So Nagy back to receive, leading receiver. He's going to pick it up for the Raiders. Gets up the middle, breaks a tackle. He's going to get out to about the 28-yard line. Hopefully it's something, too, for us. I think he's been hurting on kickoffs, too. We've been a lot of times getting touchbacks, so hopefully we'll be a little more aggressive fielding the ball if and when we return the kick. Hopefully just one tonight.
Well, hopefully we have more than one.
So the Raiders come out, led by their quarterback, Tristan Toy. Toy last week has great speed, really good dual threat player. Aiden Dominguez and Gavin Nagy are their key spots there on offense there. First snap there, going to try to go up top there. Cooper Rice in coverage, and it is caught. Nice over the shoulder catch to Nate Lewis. Got a flag down.
Looks like the penalty is going to be on us. Cooper's in that receiver's hip pocket. That pass was thrown on the outside shoulder, exactly where it needed to be. If it's thrown on the inside shoulder, Cooper's going to intercept that one, but it just went right over the outside shoulder, and what a great catch by the South Range receiver.
Yeah, and I got to question that. I got to question the interference call in there. Not that it mattered, but that was just, I thought it was good defense.
Check, right?
And, yeah, you got to let them play that there. Mm-hmm. So South Range crosses the 50. Gets it to Dominguez, who has a lot of room. Plows forward. Colton Loy makes a tackle there. Picks up about 7.
A little misdirection play. A little fake jet sweep, counter back, which I'm a big proponent of misdirection plays in high school and middle school football. They tend to work on the linebackers, and they ran one there for 6. And Colton Loy has been playing some really good football, Mac, this entire season. He's just a difference maker for us on defense.
Dominguez, 6'3", 200 pounds. Sorry for pronunciation. They had a misspelling on what the media I got from, so newspaper media. Dominguez looks to the right, pushes forward, and he's going to get close to the first tackle, be about a half-yard short. Leopard defense played well all year. I think last week was 28-0, but that was a misleading score representing our defensive side of the ball.
The thing I've noticed this year with the Leopard defense, we are better at the point of attack this year than we have been for a couple years. Our defensive line is pretty formidable and hard to move, and our linebackers and safeties get downhill and make tackles.
So 3rd and 1. Quarterback keep. He's going to squirt forward, get the first down, I think. Yeah, Leopards, it was 14-0. Middle of the 4th quarter, and Green's 2 touchdowns was their second play offensively of the game. I think a 54-yard touchdown pass.
Yes.
And then they returned the second half kickoff. But other than that, they really had about 6 first downs until the game kind of broke open midway through the 4th quarter. So first down for the Raiders. Nagy broke forward there for the first down. Toy. Nagy's the receiver. They've got trips to the top side. Going to give to Dominguez, who's getting a nice hole there. He's going to push forward for about 7, and they're getting some good first down yardage here so far.
They are. They're ripping 5-6 yard at a time here on first down, which just makes 2nd and 3rd down so much easier.
So up front we got Trevor Burek, Brock Leghart inside with Wyatt Smith and
Tyler
Davis on the ends. Give again to Dominguez, who's got some room. He pushes forward. And really, I would say this is probably the most our defensive front's been moved, I'd say, early in the game on the strict run there.
You know, one thing I've noticed, during my film prep this week is that South Range plays fearless. They come off the ball, and they hit people, and they run hard, and they tackle hard, and I've just been pretty impressed with them.
Dominguez chalks up 10 more. Looks like it'll be close to first down. Almost hope he gets a first down here. Hate to give him an extra play here, but I think they're going to mark it as second and short. Keep pushing forward here, Frank, or you try to get cute?
No, I mean, I don't think their coaching staff's been together forever. I don't see them getting cute. They're going to pound the ball here. Their cute play was on first down. The first play of the game, they threw that bubble fade.
Quarterback keeps, slides through, close to the end zone. They're going to pull up about the 2-yard line. A nice little jet sweep counter action. Quarterback keep. So first and goal at the 2. Not a great start that Coach Kappas wants, but have yet to cross that goal yet.
You know, we had a similar start last week, right? Where they went down and we had a fumble, correct? Right?
They hit the big home run pass first series there.
Oh, truth.
Quarterback keep. And Toy takes it in for the touchdown. So 8:21 left in the first quarter. South Range shows they may be small in the Joe Idle rankings division-wise, but they're playing big physically.
Well, I thought that our strength tonight defensively could be just a point of attack and not getting moved off the ball. I mean, if you take a snapshot right now, we tower over these kids, this offensive line team from South Range. We have some big kids, but they're doing a good job. Lower pad level, moving us right now.
Yep. Luke Starkey. Don't see many 55 soccer-style kickers. But he pops it right through, and Raiders take a quick 7-0 lead. We're going to take a quick break with Spotlight Media and your sports network. We're back at Louisville Leopard Stadium in the Dr. Thomas Family Press Box. South Range Raiders leave 7-0 on a 72-yard touchdown drive, and they didn't have to get to third down once in that series there, Frank.
Nope. I mean, that's what happens when you can rip chunks off on first down. The playbook is open for whatever you want to do on second and third. If we don't tighten up here on defense, especially our front seven, could be in for a long night.
So short kick fielded by DiMarzio. Jeez, you got to pick the ball up, buddy. He was flirting there. So, as I mentioned in the opening kickoff, we want to try to improve our field position, and that was not what the doctor ordered.
If you recall, similar situation last week where Cooper and Owen just kind of stared at each other to figure out who was going to pick it up, and you just got to pick it up. It's live ball in high school football, and it was touched previously. Get the ball, pick the ball up, and get what you can. But here we are starting inside our own 15 again.
So Gabe Stouffer with Cam Doherty beside him. Ashton Marshall down low here. Stouffer's going to push forward for about 6 or 7. Nice first down play. Trying to see, I think it was Owen DiMarzio in the slot. I can't tell who's the slot.
Owen's playing B tonight, which is our slot. We're going to see a little bit of two-back tonight with Cam and Owen, as Coach Kappas and offensive coordinator Coach Burek working overtime this week to put some new wrinkles in the offense tonight with the absence of Tate Aljancic.
Quinn Burek up top, the receiver there. So we have Colton Loy in the H-back tight end position. Stouffer keeps. Loses 3 there on the fake jet sweep to DiMarzio, so it makes it 3rd and 6. A familiar tune, unfortunately, for our offense over the last few weeks, where we've been putting third down positions. Let's see if we can convert here to start the game offensively.
We'll see if Gabe throws a pass here.
Bringing pressure. Stouffer hits a wide open Ashton Marshall, gets the first down.
Good ball right there. Get to the sticks, throw a little hitch route. Pitch and catch.
Yeah, Ashton Marshall. Probably good to have the receivers have some breathing room. Last week they were faced maybe the best defensive secondary all year.
Oh, my, yeah.
Green was in a lot of press coverage and just smothering our receivers up,
which is
tight.
Something you don't really see in high school a whole lot, where defensive back is in the receiver's face at the snap of the ball and playing man coverage, but they did it well.
Stouffer gives it Doherty. He's got plenty of room. He's going to push forward for about 9.
Good run by Cam. Cam's has traditionally been a north-south runner. He's, nothing flashy. He's not a big jitterbug type of running back, but he's going to put his foot in the dirt, get his pad level down. He's going to try to run you over and get what he can.
Who's our big boys up front?
Tonight, let me see. We got Big Aiden back at right tackle after missing 3 games. We got Trevor at left tackle, Wondercheck at center, and Nicholson at 1 guard. And I'm going to identify the other guard here in just a moment.
Give again to Doherty. Slides through. He's going to pick up 5 more yards. And so far, both teams are trading punches up front there. Leopards getting good push. The big physical linebacker, Cam Doherty, hasn't got a lot of action on the offensive side there. He had a nice touchdown run against Northwest and had a couple of touchdown scores against Marlington.
He did. Cam was asked this year to specifically, focus on defense as our middle linebacker, and Cam is not a selfish guy. And he took the challenge on, and he's playing a really good middle linebacker right now, so it's nice that he's getting some carries tonight.
Trips to the top side. Stouffer throws the flats to the 10. Touchdown Raiders. Tristan Toy had 1 touchdown offensively, now he has 1 defensively. And the Raiders take a 13-0 lead.
Well, it's unfortunate Gabe threw it. Having not played hardly any quarterback this year, even in practice, to ask him to come out and throw some of these routes, with not having the timing that he needs with these receivers and having to put the work in all summer, it's difficult. And that was just wasn't a very good pass. Really missed a target right there.
Toy from his outside linebacker position jumps the underneath route. Luke Starkey for the PAT. High snap. And it's through.
It through. Wow.
So, 5:08 left in the first quarter. Leopards trail 14-0. And Frank, what are you rating on the dry erase board now as a coach there?
Well, you have to have a sustained offensive drive. Like, this game can get out of hand pretty quick at this point. You have to have a sustained offensive drive where you take care of the ball, you eat the rest of this first quarter clock, and you have to have some type of answer right here, either a field goal or preferably a touchdown. Otherwise, it's a dangerous situation right now to be down 14-0. You've run 6 plays on offense. They have a defensive score. You have to be real careful right here what you do and the plays that you call here for this next series of offense.
So number 15, Jason Vorshak, is the kickoff specialist. Yeah, and one thing for our offense is having to string a bunch of first downs together. We just have not been able to get a lot of big chunk plays. So it'll be interesting with Stouffer at quarterback if we'll maybe try some downfield stuff, and hopefully we can get to our athletes to break some plays there. Good fielder there by Cooper Rice. Speaking of athlete, he's got plenty of daylight. To the 40, to the 30. And it's a minute Rice
Cooper
meal.
Rice! What great blocking up front. No hesitation there. Cooper caught it on the run, hit the seam, took it up the right side for the touchdown. Man, the kid's got some wheels. Like to have him on the track team, but I know he plays baseball, and I know that's going to be an exciting memory for Cooper on senior night to have taken one to the house on a kickoff. And there's your answer, Mac. There's your answer. Not a sustained offensive drive, not a clock eater, but yet just as effective. We'll take it.
All right, a little microwave touchdown there. Parker Dom, the freshman, his first PAT attempt. And I'm not sure what's going on there.
Something.
I don't know if we left a block from a practice or maybe from warm-ups. You only need one kicking block.
Is there a block on the field?
Yeah, I believe so.
Were they trying to double stack?
It's like a McDonald's double cheeseburger there. Dom. Money. And the Leopards cut the lead 14-7. And we've talked about getting the ball in Cooper Rice's hands more. He is a dynamic athlete, maybe one of the fastest guys on the team, outside of DiMarzio. He dealt with injuries early in the year, and he hasn't got much touches, but showed right there that, give me the ball, coach.
It's one of those things where he was injured here and missed the entire summer. I don't think he was released until maybe the Tuesday of the first week of the season. So he didn't have a lot of opportunities to make an impact here in the summer or in the preseason with the scrimmages on offense. But Cooper is one of our, more dynamic players, as he just showed right there. He's a great football player. He's a fantastic cornerback. But finding ways for him to get the ball here the last couple games of the season, it might be something that maybe Coach Kappas and the staff looks at here.
So Parker Dom set to kick off, and we apologize for being a little slow with some of the numbers. We know a lot of the Leopard numbers, but when they wear the navy with the light blue jerseys, a little tough to see from our vantage point, even with our eagle eyes.
And I forgot my binoculars tonight. What an answer by the Leopards. Boy, that was exciting.
That was neat, because you're going 3-5. You're on a 2-game losing streak. You're down 14-0 to an undefeated team. It's easy to get down on yourself, and the win was definitely out of our sails, kind of like last night about 9:15 p.m. Maybe that's a little late there before early Christmas present for Cleveland Guardians fans in Northeast Ohio.
Big
Short
Christmas.
kick field there by number 21. Nice tackle there. Carter Deem, I believe, right?
Carter, senior night. Carter Deem, number 23 for the Leopards. Solid tackle through the inside hip. Just like you draw it up. Good play, Carter.
Nice fielding there by Gavin Hiscock for the Pirates, the Raiders. Wrong plunderers. But, that's a good job by the upback. Sometimes you'll be ready to field that, because if not, it's rolling, and then, like we had the last kickoff there, we got the ball on the 13-yard line.
Correct. It was a good play.
So, good job fielding, man. We saw Ohio State that blow up in their face last Saturday night there. So Tristan Toy, 2 touchdowns in his back pocket so far. A little motion there. He's going to keep it. He's got a little out route that's going to be almost picked off by Luke Seaman.
Luke made a nice play for the ball. I don't know why he went after it with one hand. I feel like if he possibly would have gone after that with 2 hands, he could have made a play on it.
Dominguez, a running back, kind of did a good job, walling him off a little bit to not make it a clean catch. So 2nd and 10. As we said, been an explosive rate of offense, averaging 40-plus points a game. They already got 14 on the board, 7 by the defensive side of the ball. The motion there, we're going to give to the outside runner there, number 18, Troy Combs. Nothing doing. Nothing doing.
Great play by number 44, Jacob Gabreth on the tackle. Brings up 3rd and 6. It's going to stop here, Mac.
So first 3rd down that the Raiders have faced tonight. Got tight end wing to this side here. Combs in motion, and looks like we're going to have a motion penalty.
Illegal shift?
Legal.
Nope.
Yep. First they gave pass interference.
Yeah, they did. I haven't seen it.
Ball pass interference.
And he dropped 2 flags.
All right. Must have a cold or something. So 3rd and 11. Who's our DBs playing right now there?
Let's see. Right now we have Luke Seaman at the free safety.
Canfield both. One. South Range is technically, I think their mailing address is Canfield.
Probably.
So
Yep, probably.
I think they even won the same day, maybe even.
Possibly. I know that I'll be making that trip over tomorrow. Pretty excited about that. First thing in the morning for the JV game.
All right. Well, what's South Range? 45 minutes?
45 minutes, but anytime you head west, it's on an easy 45. Feels like 50.
So the JV team with, I believe, their last game of the year, right? Had a really nice season.
Had a good season. I think won one loss, first game of the season at New Philadelphia. I believe they lost 14-12,
Yeah.
and they've been rolling everybody since then.
Yeah, lost right at the end of the game. They actually scored with inside 2 minutes, take the lead, and gave a touchdown, I think, with under maybe 30 seconds or so.
That they did.
So South Range in the maroon trimmed in yellow. Looking at a 3rd and 11 here. As we're slow to here to start with 3:41 left.
I'm not sure what.
Make sure we don't catch any of that Guardians game tonight. They want to make sure you slow us down there, huh?
No, I may have it on my phone.
8:08 start, I believe. 7:23 right now, so no hurry. As I do my teenage eye roll with that comment. See a few of those, right? In teaching middle school, Frank and I.
Every day. It's from Josette.
Toy looking for the outs, and he's got the connection there. Nice, simple one-on-one route.
I think that ball. Oh, there's a flag down, though, here. Let's see what we got. It's on.
He's waving it back there.
Nice.
Nate Lewis on the catch. And that, that's what, if you can isolate and play one-on-one, that's a nice pitch and catch. And it's an easy read for the quarterback.
Dylan Smesko.
Dylan Smesko.
5'9", 180 senior.
And South Rhine's going to need to punt. So back here to return is Gabe Stouffer. And I believe that's Ty Palmier. So you're going to have 2 guys back. And I got to get ready, guys.
Get ready here.
Stouffer fields it. And he's not going to get anything, but hopefully with the fielding, it's about a 37-yard punt. Nice punt. We don't see many punches straight in the air. Old classic punt.
No.
The returners were not quite ready.
Returners had their back to the ball when it was punted. Good thing he punted it right to where they were standing. 2:38 left in the second quarter. Leopards coming out for their second offensive possession.
I'm going to say South Range has a disciplined punt team, but they probably haven't had to punt much all year. So,
well, you're scoring 42 a game. There's not a whole lot of punting going on unless it's in practice.
All right, so we got Stouffer in the backfield with Doherty in the sidecar. Their second series had some first downs first series, but unfortunately a pick 6 ended that drive there. Little bobbled snap to Owen DiMarzio. He's got room, and he's going to pick up about 22 yards.
Boy, that was an interesting play. We had a bobbled snap that Gabe collected, handed off to Owen, who bobbled the handoff that he collected, hit the seam, and good thing number 12 had the angle on him for the Raiders. Otherwise, no one's catching Owen in the open field.
It'll be bobblehead giveaway night tonight there. And I kind of surprised a lot of teams will run that as a pitch there, where we ran as a traditional handoff.
Yes.
Want to give some passing yards there, because if you drop the pitch, it's just incomplete. So trips to this side here. Stouffer's, you can look to overload that side. He's going to push forward. Good push there. Picks up about 4. So making some yards out of nothing at all. What a great Bonnie Tyler song.
No, it's Air Supply, isn't it?
Making love out of nothing. You're right, it's Air Supply. I'm thinking Total Eclipse of the Heart.
That's Bonnie Tyler.
Yeah, we've talked about Air Supply. I went to attend them at Canton Palace Theater about 5 years ago. Gave my man card at the door. And
yes, you did.
Had a good night for the most part.
Sometimes, Mac, we do what our wives want us to do.
My wife's a big fan of Air Supply. Let's see if the Leopards are a ground supply right now. Low snap again. Stouffer's going to keep it. And he squirts forward for about 3. Going to make it 3rd and manual, 3rd and 2.5.
Nice, solid, disciplined tackle by South Range's Gavin Nagy. He's a senior linebacker. Ran a little misdirection. But Gavin stuck to his backside linebacker read, squeezed it, and made a nice play. Brings up 3rd and 3.
And hopefully our size, we can wear them down. Because you see, they're not really big up front. They get the big running back at defensive end. But, with smaller division schools, you don't have the depth of size. So 3rd and 2.5. Got trips to this side.
A little pressure.
They're bringing pressure. Stouffer breaks a tackle. And he's going to pick up more and going to get about 14 yards. And the Leopards, who were pretty deflated about 4 minutes ago, are now becoming the hammer.
This is something that I was anticipating here at the beginning of the game. We talked about how I just feel like that we can lean on them. We are so much bigger. than they are up front. And they have a lot of players going both ways. We're trying our best not to have a ton of players tonight play both ways, especially up front. And we'll see if that pays any dividends here as the game progresses.
Kind of interesting. We got the two big sophomores on the same side, I believe, Burek and
Trev's playing guard tonight.
And they're going to go that way again. Doherty breaks the tackle. He's going to squirt forward for about 3 or 4 here. And, Frank, we're coaches, and, we can see where, hey, we need to play our advantage or physical, but kids look at records so much.
Right.
And they're coming, man, these guys are former state champs. They're
yes.
undefeated. Whereas, because, hey, we played a tough schedule. We played big teams. That's an investment for a game like this.
I mean, those are things that you just don't think about when you're 16, 17, and 18. You do look at records. But the reality is that, I mean, if you look at it on paper, South Range is not playing, Green and North Canton Hoover and the teams that we have played. I mean, we're battle-tested, so we'll see if this is going to pay off for us tonight.
Get the snap just for the quarter. Stouffer is smothered on that one there. Maybe gets the line of scrimmage. That's going to do it. At the end of the first quarter, it's South Range 14, Leopard 7. You're with Spotlight Media on your sports network. All right, we're back in Constitution Town. 3rd and 6 for Leopards on the South Range 28-yard line. It's got to be 2 down territory, I would think.
For sure.
It's
going to be a false start on us. We had people moving before the snap.
So that makes that 2 down territory definitely a little bit more of a mountain to climb here. Leopards have a nice drive. They're down 14-0. South Range had a 72-yard offensive drive to open the game. Then took a pick 6 back on the Leopards' first drive, but the Leopards have answered with a Cooper Rice 90-yard touchdown return, followed by a 3-and-out stop, and now they're on a nice drive here.
Into his own here as a receiver makes a beautiful catch on the sideline. Ashton at Marshall, for a kid that's never played football before, he's really picked it up pretty quick.
DeMarzio motion, takes the handoff, gets to the side. He squirts through. He's going to pick up about 4 or 5 there. Finds that seam. Leopards running a little bit more of the jet sweep than they have in the past.
Right, we are. That's one of the advantages here of playing Cam at the running back spot and then moving Owen to what we call the B, which is like a slot receiver or a slot running back. It gives an opportunity to run a lot more jet sweeps with Owen and utilizing his speed.
Got a beautiful low moon. What do we call that? A moon? A hunter moon? Help me out there.
Harvest moon.
I think we call that a cheddar cheese moon or maybe Colby cheese. That's a big
moon.
Orange moon. All right, so 2nd and 5. Doherty goes in motion there, and he faces the blitz, breaks the tackle, and he's going to maybe get to the line of scrimmage there.
Man, just, every block counts in football. Like, so if you don't maintain your block, one person can make an impact. And there's an example where we had a player whiff on a block, and just Cam got blown up pretty quick on that one.
Like to see here a little fake that motion, run that counter right up the gut here, or the quarterback keep here. So 3rd and 5, another 2 down territory early here in the second quarter. Marshall down below there. We got trips to top with Lloyd, DeMarzio, and Burek. Doherty shifts that way. Quarterback keep. Squirts forward. And Mr. Stouffer picks up 7, and the Leopards pick up another first down.
A little different wrinkle tonight on the offensive line, Mac. You alluded to it earlier today. We've moved Trevor from Burek from left tackle to right guard. And Luke McCroby, who I know that the staff is very high on, he started the last 2 weeks. He's a true freshman. And they felt like that he could play left tackle tonight. And Luke playing left tackle tonight for the Leopards is allowing Trevor to move over to right guard. And we are pounding the ball right now, Mac. I like what we're doing on offense. We're leaning on our heavies up front, and we're moving people on the defensive line.
All right, so we got trips to this side there. Stouffer's going to keep it. Doesn't pick him up much there. And I haven't noticed. I think Trevor's been full-time at guard. Sometimes you'll see lines where they kind of move guys around depending on the play. Not often, but it kind of keys where you're going. But
right, yeah. Sometimes you'll swap tackles or bring a guard over or something or swap guards. But tonight he's played right guard the entire night.
All right.
Not sure why. Must be something that, Coach Vanasek, who coaches our offensive line, something he's experimenting with tonight.
Former Leopard lineman himself.
Mount Union, Purple Raider.
So 2nd and goal from the 7. South Range bringing heat. Got a little option that way. Then Stouffer is going to get right back to the line of scrimmage there. Working that short side. But a lot of times, especially, you don't run much option. It's a lot easier to pitch with your strong hand than your weak hand. And same with throwing to your strong side.
For sure. And also, a lot of defensive linemen will have an extra guy towards the wide side of the field. So you can run to the short side of the field if you're going to run.
So 3rd and goal. Got to wonder if this is 4-down territory or not.
I'm not sure. Parker, our kicker, looked pretty good here in warm-ups and the extra point. I think maybe
how close you get here. Going to run the keep with Stouffer. He gets forward, close to the 1st down. They're going to give him it.
No.
Spot him short. Probably a good spot there. Good reach across.
Looks like our kids are calling for Rhino. Rhino's our big package here where we put one of our bigger running backs in, bring in an extra lineman and run power. But it looks like we're going to do a little push here.
All right, we haven't been under center all year. And the tush push. Are they going to give us it? Yes.
Touchdown. Little quarterback sneak up the middle with Gabe Stouffer. Had a little bit of help there with some of our other players pushing them. The old tush push, as Max said, and we'll take it. Touchdown Leops.
Yeah, so the Leopards who trailed 14-0 early in the 1st quarter, and a lot of deflated emotions on the sideline. A Cooper Rice kickoff return has sparked him, and there at Gabe Stouffer 1-yard quarterback sneak. Parker Dahm looking to tie it up right here. And doinked it off the goalposts. So it's 14-13. Help. That's a minor thing to overcome compared to the 14-point deficit we had here about a quarter ago. Gives the defense a rest as well.
It does. That was a nice sustained drive that we had talked about maybe having on our 2nd possession before Cooper took the kickoff back, and that's a time eater, and that's something that I think we need to do to control the ball. And Gabe looked pretty good. Had a couple nice runs, threw a nice pass on the sideline to Owen Bjork, and things are rolling right now for the Leopards. We're back in this game.
So 7:23 left here in the 2nd quarter. Frank getting an early scouting report on his 4th quarter fourth quarter cookie critique. I knew I had some alliteration in there. You know what alliteration is, Frank, from your days as an English teacher?
I barely remember my days as an English teacher. It's all a blur.
Always had that in my back pocket as a journalist, my part-time journalism days here. So Parker Dahm set to kick off. We got a few freshmen sprinkled in there, a lot of sophomores there. Dahm kicks another low. He's going to let it roll there. And I believe Nagy gets a head start. He's going to get almost out to the 40-yard line there. Correction, that was Tristan Toy.
Yeah, Tristan Toy. Quarterback. Tristan plays the entire game. He plays quarterback. He plays outside linebacker. He returns punts. He returns kicks. He's a good athlete, and they're relying on him heavily tonight with a lot of touches for that kid.
Back in your day, your two-way man, you played at some small school in Kentucky, right? That was
I played at a big school in Kentucky.
You were at Sebring for a little while here.
I was at United Local. Come on, Mac.
My fault.
Come on.
I apologize.
Played at United Local. Everybody at United Local plays both ways. And then when I moved to Kentucky, I also played both ways. But, yeah, moved from a small school to a huge school.
A little counter there. Dominguez got a lot of room to the outside. And he's going to pick up about 18, 19 yards there. And South Range quickly in scoring position there. Not much leverage there on the outside.
No, not much leverage. Misdirection right there. They ran a little scissor action with the jet sweep. and just confused the linebackers. And, of course, they did a great job blocking on that play as well.
Almost ran into each other. Toy gives this time to number 82. He's off to the races. Touchdown, Dylan Zemesco from 38 yards out.
Just really nothing fancy there. Just a little handoff, shotgun. Zemesco on the right hip of the quarterback. Just a little handoff. They pulled a guard, kicked out, and he hit the seam and was gone. South Range is doing a really nice job, Mac, on second-level blocking. And what I mean by that is their offensive linemen are getting up on our linebackers and our safety, and they're doing a great job.
Much. Got our esteemed high school principal beside us, Gary Tosh.
Obviously, that Perry football pedigree.
Great wrestler for the Panthers there. We're going to let Frank talk to Gary for a second. We haven't talked to Gary yet this year.
So what's your first half assessment here, Principal Tosh, on the Leopard football game?
Listen, we came in. I think we're playing hard, playing fast, and we're battling in the trenches there.
I agree with you. We look pretty good up front so far. Obviously, we got to make some stops here on defense. So this is your second or third year as principal at the high school?
It's fourth.
Feels like 3.
Tell us about your pep rally or your speaker today.
Yeah, we had a speaker.
Yeah, we had Kenny Peterson, famous McKinley alumni, Ohio State, Green Bay Packer, and Denver Bronco. Spoke to our kids just about resiliency, overcoming obstacles, and good work ethic.
Obviously, Assistant Principal John Twynham coached at Canton McKinley and had an opportunity to coach Kenny Peterson. 1997 state championship team. I'm sure some of you at home remember that team. Mike Doss on that team. I believe there was 3 NFL players on that team. Mike Doss, Kenny Peterson, and the fullback Martin that played for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
And correct. I'm sure did Mr. Twynham have an opportunity to introduce Kenny and relive some of the glory days?
Yeah, they had a little Q&A session where Mr. Twynham asked him some questions, and then he responded to the kids, and the kids were attentive. It was a good presentation.
Yep, for sure.
I'm going to ask Gary, we're trading headsets here real quick. Gary, just talk a little bit about the culture that you and the administration, the teaching staff, and the kids together, the students have been working together here at the high school. You've done a great job from what I hear.
Well, I appreciate that. It's not easy. Every day we work on the culture. We want the kids back in the buildings. And it's been a fight to get everybody back, but the attendance is up. Less kids are going digital, and we just want to create a culture where the kids want to be at school and they want to be a part of that Leopard pride that is so well known around the community.
Well, I can say, having taught with you my entire career in the classroom over at the middle school, I'm completely shocked at the job you're doing at the high school. I mean, I had my doubts. Like when we brought you back from Arlington, I called Michelle and I thought, are you sure about this? Like, are you sure you want Gary Tosh back? I mean, you know the type of teacher that he was, but who would have thought you're a better administrator than you were a teacher?
I appreciate that, Frankie, coming from someone who is held in such high esteem at the middle school.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, hey, listen, it's a lot like teaching. It's about building relationships and getting to know the kids and letting them know that you care about them, and it's all downhill from there.
Well, in all honesty, I've sent my middle son Caden was in the building when you were principal, and now my youngest son Cason's in the building, and they speak very highly of you and Great House and Twynham and the job that you guys done and your discipline, and you guys are firm but fair. You're well liked. You have a great staff, and you're doing a great job. I mean that. Obviously, I don't want Cason to get in trouble. Maybe I can use that at some point when he gets in trouble to remind you that I spoke very highly of you tonight.
I appreciate that. It's always cool to see the kids enter the building, and they're 8th graders. Most of them, for the most part, are immature, and to just see them grow up and mature and become fine young people. And we'll see about Casey.
The verdict's out on that kid. He's a little ornery. Like his dad, I guess. Like his dad. And I know a special shout out to Barb Jeffries, who always listens and sends texts. I know Barb's listening tonight at home, probably getting ready for the Indians game. Barb, your boys are up here in the box thinking about you. We miss you, and we'll talk to you soon.
Well, Katie Russell and I took a selfie and sent it up to her, so I'm not real sure where she's sitting, but hopefully she got it.
Well, thanks for including me on the selfie. Much appreciated. You know, Barb likes
Hey, did I
me
tell
more
you that
than-
last time we went to dinner? Oh, that's right. You didn't get to go.
I didn't get to go, which is unfortunate because we know that Barb and Bill always pay for dinner when we go, so we go big. We go big. You're pointing the wrong way, Mac.
He's new at this.
Mac taking a selfie in the wrong direction. Showing his age up here on his flip phone. Back to football action. We got 3rd down and 11 from the 27-yard line on the Leopard side of the ball.
I think Gabe is doing a nice job running this offense, mixing it up. I like
Catch it.
the fact that we're hitting the edges a little bit.
Yeah, we
a little
are.
bit more tonight than in the past, and
A little more speed on the edges with the DeMarge running some jet sweeps. That pass was incomplete. Gabe rolling left, a right-handed quarterback. That's a difficult ball to throw, but we had a play on it. Ashton couldn't pull it in, but we had a play. It brings up 4th down here, and the Leopards to punt. As Rob hands Mac his headset, we got 3 on the call right now. It's like Monday Night Football all of a sudden.
we're like Peyton and Eli, and Mac is
Max Belichick.
A little roller there by Gabe Stouffer that is going to continue out there. So all 3 of us, I'm going to say, I don't know if this is a compliment or insult, but I think we're all come from the Joe Harold teaching tree.
I would say he never coached me, but I was around him enough to know the principles of which he coached with, and it's hard work, you know.
We all taught with Joe, and I tell you what, we were super thankful that he retired early. and this is the funny thing. We still try to get together as much as we possibly can. Joe's the only one of our crew that is retired, and he's the only one that's busy 24/7. I don't know how is that what happens in retirement? Did you just all of a sudden you can't spend any time with your friends because you're doing something?
We got trips left.
Dominguez
Missed tackles.
to the 30, to the 10.
Dang it.
66 yards for the touchdown.
Just missed tackles right there. We had 2 clean tackles on him at the line of scrimmage, and we whiffed on both of those. And that's just the value of good tackling. And any level, if you can't tackle, you're going to give up yards. And, man, that one really hurt.
Yeah, South Range, you can't make those mistakes.
No.
And they've done it. We've kind of waken up a sleeping giant there. We down 14-zip, got it to 14-13, and since then, South Range has just been hitting seams. A couple of big touchdown drives, short touchdown drives, getting the holes, and they're about ready to go up 28-13 if this one goes through the wickets.
You know, it can be frustrating when you're missing tackles on defense and you're giving up long runs between the tackles.
Big chunks.
So these 2, of course, also under Joe's tutelage have become great bocce ball players. You guys still roll them at all? Or?
We don't.
What was always the matchup with the bocce ball?
It was always Grim Vogley versus Tosh and Harold. And we've played bocce ball all over the world. Most recently, New York City and Central Park, where I believe the team of Grim and Vogley won that particular trip. Oh, we did play in Chicago.
That's right. I bounced it off the mirrored beam.
That you did. That you did. And, of course, who can ever forget the 8th grade bocce ball, the 8th grade wing tournament that we had with Sovacool and the pivot foot and Mac playing it in the trash can and everything else that
Bob
we did.
Blumenberger and I were back-to-back regular season champs. We got upset in the tournament one year back in the day.
Who beat you? That was our librarian, Schwartz, and who was it? Schwartz and Feller beat you in the championship. Is that what happened?
Something like that.
Silvical got disqualified.
Yeah. Well, he had a pivot foot, and we all know why he had a pivot foot.
Frank is
He is on fire.
full Don Rickles mode here.
Listen, I think that we've shown in the first quarter that we can play with these guys.
Yes,
we just have to be sound.
Yeah, and against a high-quality team, right? tops in the state there, former state champion for a couple of years ago. You can't make mistakes, and right now the mistakes got us down 2 scores.
Because they're breaking off some big chunks.
So that ball is going to get to the end zone here. Like we said, that's where we like to try to field that because we're now 80 yards from pay dirt.
Right.
Gary, you still have season tickets to the Browns games? Those are probably hot sellers right now.
No, sad to say, sitting with a Steeler fan, I hate to talk about the Browns, but this is the first time in 52 years I've stopped watching the Browns.
You haven't watched any games this year?
The last 2 weeks I stopped watching.
Really?
Yep.
Hey,
Wow.
Missing a good nap.
And I'm telling you, I've been through 52 years.
52 years and 52 jerseys.
52 quarterbacks,
52
probably.
quarterback jerseys that you constantly continue to get from China. Every time we get a new quarterback, Gary gets a new jersey. He wears it proudly for 4 games, and then it disappears.
Well, the last jersey I bought was Baker Mayfield, Tampa Bay, though.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you did.
Yep.
All right, handoff up the gut to Cam Doherty.
Good run by Cam. That's a good first down play. You get anything, 4 or 5 yards on first down, it makes second down play calling a little bit easier, and Cam busted it up there for a hard 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
4:30 and counting here. Big drive for Leopards here to get some momentum heading into halftime. Be nice to have a nice long drive, score here, and then get the ball to start the second half.
We need a long breakaway run here. It's we've been pounding the ball here. Let's see if we can get Owen here free for a good run.
All right, Stouffer, big hole. Breaks a couple of tackles. Hold on to that ball there, Gabe, and he's going to get it all the way out to Leopard territory. A 30-yard run.
And out of bounds. Great play by
Good
Gabe.
Run. Good run. I was just going to say, getting it into DeMarzio's hands, quickest kid in Stark County.
Yeah, that would help. But Gabe made a nice.
That was a great run.
Gabe made a nice read right there. We run a little jet motion with one of the Palmier twins. Gabe has the decision to either hand the ball off or keep it. He saw something that he liked, kept it, and man, that was just an awesome play call.
Stouffer gives to DeMarzio, short side. Nice tackle there by Gavin Nagy. Gary, the senior class, talk about them and their leadership in the hallways, in the classroom, in the building.
I can say academically, we have a strong senior class. When they were coming across the field before the game and they were going over some of the bios, if you listen to some of the GPAs, they're leaders in the classroom, and I can't say anything more about their academic performance.
This is what I don't understand. How can you have more than a 4.0 grade point average? Can you explain that to the people at home?
Now, Frank, do you really want to know the answer, or is this a sarcastic question?
No, I know the answer. Come on. I'm an educated guy. But the people at home may not know, and we did the senior night live, and somebody at home, or somebody older around Mac's age might be saying, how can you have a 4.5 grade point average?
Participation trophy, just give them 4.5, but there's a reason for that there. Explain to us.
Or can you not explain that? You want me to explain it?
Well, we have what's called College Credit Plus classes and advanced placement classes that are worth 5 points each instead of the standard 4.0.
Oh.
And so depending on how they do on that, they can elevate their GPA above a 4, Mr. Grimm.
I see that.
3rd and 4. Stouffer is going to muscle forward.
Boy, it's going to be short, but it brings up 4th and short.
Got not a real generous spot down here. I know we were close to that line there, but we're good yards short here.
I would agree. I think that was a shaky spot.
Well, I think we have a timeout. I wonder if we're going to use it here or
let that clock tick down there.
It's going to
As
go
the
for here.
South Range offense has been explosive on the ground.
I mean, we're a good yard short here. I think we run that little quarterback read that we run with Gabe, our blocking tight ends here. Let's see what we do.
And there it's give to Stouffer. He's got plenty of room. He's got to pick up about 3 or 4. South Range's been bringing pressure most short yardage game, shortage situations, didn't it, on that case?
Gabe's making good decisions today, with the exception of that one hiccup in the first quarter.
Yep.
He's making some good decisions. And
really a short week of practice. And Mr. Tosh, we were talking about this in pregame. Gabe plays both sides of the ball. I don't think he takes a ton of reps at practice, at quarterback, even though he's our backup quarterback. And to be able to come in on 1 week's notice, really in a newly designed offense and run it the way that he's running it, just mad props to Gabe. The kid's a gamer, and I'm super impressed with this preparation this week to get us even here to be successful.
Give to DiMarzio.
Say what you will, he's a gamer.
Gabe's a gamer. He loves to play. He's a competitor. I came out for track last year, and just came to me and said, hey, he said, I'm not going to win any races, but I want to get faster. And I said, hey, we can accommodate that. I like those kids that come. Showed up every day, worked hard. We were able to get him faster, and it's showing tonight on the football field.
Stouffer feeling pressure. He's going to go down for a big loss. 14 yards, and the Leopards are going to face a third and I believe 28 if my math's right there.
Yeah.
I think that was the first pass play which had him hold on to the ball in the pocket that long.
Yeah.
And,
really nothing open downfield. He was looking to dump it off to somebody. Unfortunately, it was Trevor Burek, one of our offensive linemen, which would obviously you can't throw to an offensive lineman. So
clock running, 30 seconds, 3rd and 25. So really Louisville could have 2 downs to throw it up there if they get some yardage here. Got a wheel route. Stouffer hits across to Palmier, who's tackled, but we got plenty of timeouts. So going to burn one with 17 seconds left. Gary, we had a nice win by the boys soccer team last night. I think they face Marlington next week in the district semifinal. How's our rest of our fall sports doing?
Well, you know, just to piggyback on that boys soccer, Coach Como has done a really nice job. Not with you know, he's got 30 to 35 kids on the team, great numbers, and we graduated a ton last year. And he's reloaded, and they're having a really nice season. Some of the other teams, girls soccer, doing well.
Do they play tomorrow? Their first round tournament game, I believe, is tomorrow.
That was your research job. I did boys soccer. You had girls.
Oh, man, appreciate that.
Well, our volleyball team took a tough loss last night at Avon Lake.
Was that a playoff?
Yeah,
match?
it was.
So is their season over? Do they have another?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
Yeah, so nowadays, a lot of the tournaments now, instead of doing the local tournament, you have multiple districts you can pick from all the way to, like, they played, we've had the basketball team play Ashtabula up in Euclid. The soccer played a game at Hawkins, so it gives you an opportunity. You avoid hitting this traditional maybe roadblocks locally and gives you a little different path. Unfortunately, make some long drives for the tournament. Next week, though, we'll be, I believe we're at Marlington for the boys
like our chances
soccer.
Against Marlington. I thought the game that we just won, knock on wood, I thought.
Stouffer is going to keep it, and he is going to get close to the 30-yard line, unfortunately short of the first down. So that's going to turn over on downs with 8 seconds left. I imagine the Pirates are going to...
The Raiders.
The Raiders. It was the Raiders, and Frank had it written down as Pirates. It's in my head now.
Well, there's Southeast Pirates and South Range Raiders.
There you
and they're
go.
Pretty
Same colors.
Same colors.
Gary, the question from last week, what is more intimidating, a Pirate, a Raider, or a Buccaneer? Who's more likely to be in the principal's office?
Probably that Pirate. Probably that Pirate. I can't really comment on that, though.
And the guy's a history teacher, so you have a little background in the...
in the swashbucklers.
Swashbuckler. I apologize to our audience here. You're getting some bad middle school jokes here. So South Range hands it off to end the first half, and that's going to do it for us here. We thank our buddy Gary Tosh, principal of Louisville High School, for joining us. We're going to go to halftime with the Louisville Leopards trading the South Range Raiders. 28-13. This is Spotlight Media and your sports network.
Under the direction of Roger Lewis and Sarah Kamsa, flagline advisor Nikki Dispenza, and drumline instructor Jim Rishley, we proudly present the 2024 Raider Marching Band. We open tonight's show with the Olivia Rodrigo hit, Good For You. The Raider flag line is going to bring the magic this evening. We're sure this feature routine will turn some heads as the band plays the Bruno Mars hit, Finesse. The Raider Band would like to thank you for being a great audience for us tonight. We will close tonight's performance with the Taylor Swift hit, I Knew You Were Trouble. We would like to thank our season sponsors, Myers Family Insurance, Chris Berkey Plumbing, and Power Sound Audio for their support of our music department. Go Raiders!
To present their competition show in its entirety for you this evening. Painted Black is an award-winning production that has been a hit with audiences and judges from all over the state of Ohio. Tonight's performance gives the band the chance to display to you the results of months of planning, hard work, and dedication as the pride of Louisville continues to be recognized as one of the finest marching bands in the state. Awards and accolades for this season include, at the Hoover Echoes of Excellence competition, Superior Rating, First Place Color Guard Class A, First Place Percussion Class A, First Place Band Class A, Best Overall General Effect, Best Overall Visual, and Grand Champion. At Norton Art in Motion competition, the band earned a Superior Rating, First Place Color Guard Class A, First Place Band Class A, Best Overall Music Class A, Best Overall Visual Class A, and again, Grand Champion. So far this season, the band is undefeated and travels to Tri-Valley High School tomorrow to compete against 12 other bands. They conclude their season on October 26th at Hilliard-Bradley High School for the Ohio Music Education Association State Marching Band Finals. Soloists for our show this evening include Landon Moser and Xander Hinkle on baritone, Olivia Lewis on trumpet, Jace Pallas on trombone, and Logan Demos on alto saxophone. The band looks forward to entertaining you tonight with this very special performance. So please, sit back and enjoy Painted Black.
Tristan Toy, he's got 3 rushes for 10 yards and a touchdown. Tristan also took a interception return for a touchdown.
Rob's playing the Indian Cleveland Fever.
Indian Fever. Ba-da-ba. It starts with the very first inning. Yeah, that's when you grew up in the 70s and 80s. Not a lot of wins to watch, so you knew the song. All right. Back to our stats. Dylan Semesko had a nice long touchdown run. He got 2 carries for 50 yards. So the South Range Raiders, 14 carries, 180 yards rushing. So my math says that's about 13 a pop. Not a good defensive stat you want to give up.
Not a real good defensive stat.
So the Raiders have put it in the air twice, 1 for 2 for 32 yards. Like one of their first plays was that.
Yep.
Leopards 3 for 5 for 29 yards, and unfortunately an interception that was taken to the house. Ashton Marshall 2 catches for 22 yards. Jake Palmier 1 for 7 for the Raiders. Nate Lewis had that 32-yard catch. All right, so we start the second half. Big series for Leopards, down 15. Low roller there. That's got a nice hop there. Fielded there by, I believe, DiMarzio, who is smashed quickly at the 27-yard line. So hoping to build off a couple of nice offensive drives. Got it down to inside the 40-yard line.
You hate to think that the first drive of the second half is a pivotal drive, but the way that South Range has been ripping off these touchdown runs, I think this is a pretty important drive for us. Let's see if we can string together a couple first downs and see if we can result this in a score for us. I'm always interested to see what the coach's adjustments are at halftime. That's one of my favorite things as a commentator, to see what they come out, what new wrinkles they have.
So no back with a Canadian motion that somehow we got away with.
Right.
And that's not going to get much anything there. So you could have two guys move, but Frank, if you have two guys move, what has to happen?
One has to be set for a 1 count, and he was not.
He was set for maybe a tenth of a second there. If that.
But hey, we'll take it. 2nd and 9.
So Stouffer now with, it looks like DiMarzio. Is that DiMarzio or is that Doherty in the backfield? We'll find out here shortly. Look to pass. Stouffer the pocket as quickly collapses. And South Range puts Leopards in a tough position. 3rd and 13.
So far, 2 plays, and it looks like the adjustment that South Range made is they are bringing inside pressure on linebacker blitzes on 1st and 2nd down, and I can guarantee you here on 3rd down they're going to be bringing an extra man too to try to
a couple
disrupt.
Nice ones where we got Gabe out of the pocket, a little play action, half rolls and stuff like that. A nice isolation of the Ashton Marshall. Let's see what we got here. So got a roll to the boundary. Stouffer is running out of room, and he is going to throw it out of bounds. I don't know if they're going to rule it incomplete or not.
Incomplete.
And the Leopards, not how you want to start there. Coach Kappas' halftime pep talk didn't quite.
Yeah.
Who's some of the great pep talk guys you ever? Anybody?
Coach Radalia.
Coach Rad, yes.
Yeah, Coach Rad, one of the best. Just, I mean, nobody got you fired up before a game like Coach Radalia did.
Former great Leopard lineman. You know where he went to college there?
Marietta.
No, a lot
Muskingum.
better than that. He was a Muskie, like yours truly.
Him and Spider Miller were roommates.
That's right, yeah. Part of a 1975 OAC championship.
Probably their last one.
Mount Union's won any OAC championships?
Since 75? Like maybe every year since 75.
It's about 90. I think they've rattled off about.
It's 20-something,
yeah,
I believe, at this point.
They got them all this century there. But, yeah, Coach Rad, who, like I said, former lineman and a history teacher, so he could put a lecture on it and really got the
that he could.
hinges loose in the old locker room and the new one there. And as many years like coaching under Coach Rick Chrislip and Paul Farah and John DeMarco.
Hey, Guardians are down 2-1.
Guardians got cut the lead to 2-1 thanks to Jack Horn, our board man and score updater extraordinaire there. Big hole. Nice help by the official.
A little assisted tackle by the official.
Tristan Toy from going to Children's Palace. Do you guys remember Children's Palace as a toy store?
Yeah, of course I do. And the ironic thing is he pops up. He gave the official a high five for making a great tackle on him.
Gets a sticker on his hat there, so that saved the Leopard. The Leopard's just getting gashed up front here in the last couple drives here. See what we do to adjust. So give to Dominguez. Gets to the outside. He gets tripped up there.
That's a nice play there. I believe Jacob Galbraith filling from his outside linebacker position, making a solid tackle there.
Got to give that line up front. I'm going to say not a lot of size and weight. I'm seeing you know, Patrick Lally, one of their linemen, he's at about 5'11", 230. I'm going to say he's probably the biggest guy to left tackle there.
You know, sometimes it's not the size of the dog in the fight. It's the size of the fight in the dog.
Never heard that one before.
Little coach speak there.
All right. Toy picks up about 4. Definitely these dogs got a lot of fight in them, as it shows in their 8-0 record.
Brought down on the play by number 8, Cam Doherty.
Just the winning culture at South Range. We had talked about this earlier. They, you know, long time, you know, head coach. The staff's been together for a long time. They, you know, one of their assistant coaches, Jeff Starkey, has won a couple state championships. He has 2 boys on the team, so he volunteers.
Some of you played with at Mount Union. A little pop pass crossing over the middle to the 10, to the 5, and the Raiders go up 34-13. Troy Combs on a nice little, it's like a little jump pass.
Little slot. Troy lined up in the slot. They just ran him underneath a 5-yard route. Nice little play action, almost like a pop pass to a tight end. Just hit him in space, and Troy took care of the rest.
And with 8:45 left, Luke Starkey, the son of, I believe, Jeff Starkey, right?
Yeah,
Jeff's
Jeff's oldest boy on the team. I believe Jeff has a son that has graduated. He wrestles at Mount Union. One of my former college teammates at Mount Union. His son does the kicking here and plays linebacker and offensive guard.
All right, 8:45 left in the third quarter. The Raiders take a 35-13 lead. We're going to take a quick break on your sports network and Spotlight Media. We are back at Louisville Leopard Stadium. The South Range Raiders, who jumped out to a 14-0 lead. Leopards, spurred by a Cooper Rice touchdown and a nice long offensive drive, got to 14-13, but it's been all Raiders since then, Frank.
It has been all Raiders, and really nothing fancy, just kind of simple offense, handing the ball off, athletes making plays, breaking tackles, and an onside kick. Wow, that's a...
Hey.
Why not?
Confident in their defense, but that's a little surprising.
Why
Up
not?
22. Sometimes you let your hair down a little bit there, but it gives Leopards a short field. The Leopards had a couple nice drives, but the last drive went in the wrong direction. This is Frank Grimm alongside myself, Matt Galjancic, bringing week 9 of high school football, a crisp, cool autumn night.
Beautiful evening
along
for
the
football.
banks of whatever our little creek is that goes along the south end zone.
Nemichellen Creek.
It's a tributary or whatever of
it's a cesspool.
Runs by my mama's house. I grew up on it, my grandparents' house there. Stouffer going up top, got a guy wide open, and does he make the grab? Ashton Marshall had to come back for it, tips it.
Really fought through some interference right there as well. A lot of contact right there at the end of that play. Ashton had a step or two on the cornerback for South Range. Gabe underthrew it a little bit. If he puts a little more air underneath it, Ashton's in the end zone, but what an athletic play by Ashton.
So the Leopards inside the red zone there. Stretch that defense there. Take advantage here. I think we got some nice athletes on the perimeter. Let's see if we see Cooper Rice here at all on offense. I haven't seen him. He had the big touchdown return. Low snap there. Stouffer's going to go up top again. Got a guy wide open, and nice last break up there. Got the hands in there. I believe that was number 21 there. Got a big play for us there. Ryan Rush. Not Ryan Rush. That's an Louisville
No, that's
guy
us.
there.
Gavin Hiscock. I believe he's the defensive back on the coverage for for the Raiders.
Did a good job getting his hand in just last second there. Ashton had a step there.
Ashton had a step. Yeah. Slightly underthrown, but
2nd and 10. And look to Marsh again. Stouffer escapes the outside. Nice little dump off there, I believe, to Lloyd. Nice job. Colton kind of released from his block and gets a little dump off and picks up about 8 or 9.
Gabe Stouffer's pass to number 32, Colton Lloyd is
going to bring up.
Job by Gabe keeping his eyes downfield.
It was. Anytime you have a quarterback like Gabe that
he got the first down there.
First down and goal. Gabe has a tendency to scramble. gives your receivers an opportunity to freelance, and Colton freelanced a little bit, went to open space, and Gabe found him.
So back to 3rd and 1 there as the chain gang got back on it. So Stouffer with the quarterback keeps, got some room, gets to the 2, gets to the 1.
Touchdown.
Get those hands up. Touchdown, Leopards. Gabe Stouffer on his 2nd touchdown run of the night, and the Leopards cut the lead to 35-19. Looks like Leopards going to kick it here.
Yeah, they're going to kick it.
Parker Dom and his PAT debut here tonight, taking over Tate Aljancic, who's on the sidelines. Hold there, I assume, by Stouffer. Gets it up, and Dom kicks it through. So, 7:50 left in the 3rd quarter. Leopards stay in the hut. Got to play some defense right now.
You have to have a 3-and-out right here. You can't give up a sustained drive. You got to make tackles. You have to keep the ball in front of you, and it would be really advantageous for us to get a 3-and-out right here to put our offense back on the field if we want to get back into this game. Plenty of time though, Max. 7:50 in the 3rd quarter. This game is definitely not out of reach.
Yeah, South Range, explosive offense, but they've given up some points defensively. Gave up 27 to Girard, beat Poland Seminary 38-30 recently. So there are a couple of recent games where they've given up some points here. Now they beat Struthers, who's 7-1, a Division 4 team, 37-13. So they definitely have an impressive offense. Really impressed with their discipline. Hear the Leopard Fight song there. That moon's gone up a little bit there.
Oh, it has.
We got a little hazy smoke. I noticed going through the neighborhoods, I don't know what kind. Is that the cold air? I know we have a lot of, I assume we have backyard fire pits or that's actually the fire.
That's from the fireworks.
But I noticed earlier the neighborhood had some low smoke. Not a science teacher, Frank, and you're...
No, I am not a science teacher, although I played one on TV once.
All right, we have to go with best fictional teachers of all time.
Oh, Mr. Cotter.
Mr. Cotter. It's referenced 2 weeks in a row. Fish should save Pittsburgh, right?
No, welcome back, Cotter.
Yeah, he was the coach, right?
Oh, he was. Yeah, Gabe Kaplan.
Gabe Kaplan, Mr. Cotter. All right, let's think. Other great teachers. A little underrepresented. Have you watched much of this Abbott Elementary? I've gotten a little bit of it.
No, I have not.
Yankees now up 3-1. Hard time. This time a lot of depth on that pitching staff. Did you watch the game? Frank, we talked a little bit about it.
I did not watch the game last night. My son Kaysen likes to listen to the games on the radio, so first thing this morning at, 6:10, he was downstairs and telling me all about it.
Toy breaks the first initial tackle, and he is going to get the first down there. Yeah, that has to go in, I guess, risen from the ashes. Let's face it, they lose that game, the season's pretty much over. They're not coming back from 3-0 and down to their last out. And
Big Christmas. John
Kenzie Noel, who I think hadn't hit a homer in a couple months and was had maybe one hit in the postseason.
I had heard pinch hit situations this year was 1 of 17.
Yeah. Dominguez gets 10 yards. I think he's one of, actually it's kind of neat. If you hear the broadcast and the announcing is phenomenal there.
Yes.
But he was 1 for 16 pitch hitting, but his one hit was a home run. Literally the next pitch
home run.
He ripped it.
Mm-hmm. And it was a great call. I mean, if you're into broadcasting, both those calls were great calls.
Yeah, and I was listening to Sirius Weather Sports this morning. Just amazed at how much it took. I mean, he got an oh my God. I mean, just totally caught everybody off guard. And hopefully the Indians gave him some new life right now. They've dug themselves a hole. I know my son works in Cleveland. He was working last night, and he's working on a valet. And he says he can hear the roar of the crowd, and they were watching the game. He said, the TV's a little delayed, so they heard a huge roar, and sure enough, got to see it on TV. So just it's a buzz, and I know this week is a big weekend in Cleveland. The playoffs. Mm-hmm. You got the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yep, the inductions this weekend.
All right, and you got Browns, Bengals, Battle for Ohio. I don't know, battle for a toilet seat or something. Both those teams are
What do you think about
struggling.
the stadium move?
Yeah, it's a good move. I put money into. I mean, I can put $1 billion into renovating the old stadium. And really, to be honest, they should just live with what they got. I don't understand.
Yeah, how old is the stadium on the
25
water?
years old.
Is it that old now?
Yep.
Well,
I mean, 25 years old is dropping the bucket. Our school's 20 years old.
How old was Municipal Stadium when
I
they
mean,
tore
that
it
was
down?
built, I believe, 32. So they tore it down in 95. So, but if you're going to spend a lot of money, I mean, let's face it, the Brown. I mean, they only use it 10 games a year. 4 of those games are miserable weather, where people don't want to go, and so if you're going to spend $1 billion, and if Jimmy Haslam's going to spend $2 billion, and they can hopefully a lot of talking here a lot of radio about using the lakefront for different things that a lot of cities do.
Mm-hmm.
Got a big corner on the outside. Colton Loy, the only man out there, takes out a couple blockers. And South Range Raiders are rolling offensively.
They are.
Just have no answer right now.
Hey, I wanted to cut into you guys real quick and let you know, for folks at home, if you've seen like it's glitched a little bit tonight, we've had some issues with the internet here at I guess it's maybe possibly a Spectrum issue. But thanks to our main man, Jason Siegfried, trying to help us out, get us back rolling the way it should be.
Nobody's ever complained about Spectrum ever, right?
No. So
We made a service call. They'll be here tomorrow between 12 and 8.
Dominguez pushes forward for a couple. Great Seinfeld episode, were they, right? Was he trying to avoid the cable guy somewhere?
Yes.
So Leopard defense, got to make something happen here. 4:30 and counting here. Down 2 scores. And we appreciate your patience. We appreciate all the hard work that Rob puts in for Spotlight Media. Rob, I know you're still on. What do we got? You got anything coming up? I know most of the fall sports are over there.
Well,
are we going to be able to cover the soccer match? Or?
Well, we're working on that. Girls play at Copley on Monday. We're trying to get in over there, see what we can do. Also, boys soccer won the other night, so they'll be moving on. I don't have any info on that one yet.
Play the
Working
Dukes
on that.
there. Nice tackle by Luke Seaman, a little outside option. Just don't see the option much more, Frank.
No, not at all. Like it just gives you it gives you options. There's 3 things you can do. You can hand it off. The quarterback can keep it, or you can pitch it. When we were growing up in the 80s, there were tons of teams, and obviously, Nebraska was a huge option team, and
in high school, I was a quarterback. We ran the option. I used to practice pitching to the pillow. It was not quite Jamel Holloway of the Oklahoma Sooners, to say the least. But that was a staple of a lot of high school and college offenses there. Dominguez is going to get him in. They're going to mark him a little bit short. But why do you think the option went?
I don't know. I think with the West Coast offense in the 80s, where you're coming in short passing game, it's as good as a run, and then that evolved into 4 and 5 receiver wide sets, and it just became more sexy to throw the ball around the field.
Yeah,
than it did to run the option.
Well, here at Louisville, John DeMarco made a good living off of that for a long time.
The spread offense, which is probably around the turn of the century. Mm-hmm. It's kind of scary. It's been 24 years since.
Right, right.
So South Range walks in the end zone. Dominguez, I'm sorry. 2:40 left here, 41-20. The Raiders stretch that lead out. Leopards just don't have an answer defensively now.
The opposite of what we did in the first half is happening to us in the second half. They're just wearing us down up front, very similar to what we did the first half to them. They're just pounding it. I mean, again, nothing fancy. They're not throwing these sophisticated pass routes. The quarterback isn't throwing any run pass options. They're just handing the ball off, and they're pounding us right now.
So, Starkey. Or if he's any relation to the legendary coach of the Louisville Leopards, Paul Starkey, and great math teacher. I had Coach Starkey for a couple classes. So, 42-20. We were talking about going back to the Guardians. We're going to talk about something. Talking about the calls.
Yes.
The Spanish call that some of you, I'm sure, are on the internet.
If you haven't heard the Spanish call Noel's home run last night. You have to Google it. It was just a classic Spanish call. Reminded me a little bit of some of those great Spanish soccer calls.
Yes.
That's what it reminded me of. But it was a special moment last
Yes.
night, and it was just a great call by the Spanish affiliates.
Sang a little. Who sang Feliz Navidad?
His
You got
name,
it.
I got it. It was
You said it,
Jose Feliciano.
There you go. And shout out if Jason Feliciano is listening out there, whose dad was Jose. I don't think it was the Jose Feliciano.
We don't know. There's speculation that maybe his dad was the famous Spanish singer, but
yeah, he sang it and fielded. Nice job there by Ty Palmier. I tell you what, they hit on the kickoffs there. Give them credit to the South Range there. Yeah, I think Carlos Baerga is part. I didn't realize he's part of the Spanish broadcast, but I don't think he was the singing there. I think he's the color commentator. Just like 3-1, Jack Horn gives the update there.
Is Carlos Baerga Spanish?
I believe he is. I named
Your dog.
my wife, my first dog,
Yeah,
Carlos
Carlos
Kosar Algincic, named after Bernie. And every dog I've named, as soon as we name the athlete, I think Bernie got cut soon.
Yeah.
Carlos Baerga,
I tell you what, there's
lost
a lot.
his mojo. Peyton, my dog right now, Peyton, if he's listening at home, Peyton Tressel Algincic, named after Peyton Hillis.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, that's
He
a
didn't
bad
quite
move.
have a Hall of Fame, and Jim Tressel, I think, got canned.
Yep.
Stouffer scrambling. Luckily, there's no Cleveland athletes named Pixie or Kiwi. That's our lady dogs.
You know, the thing about naming dogs, there's a lot of dogs in Northeast Ohio right now, and a lot of kids named Odell and Baker.
Baker, definitely Baker. I know a lot of Bakers, but yeah.
We have an Odell in our family, on Brandy's side of the family, and
Who's Odell play with? He got signed by.
is he playing right now?
Yeah, he got signed by somebody pretty big. I haven't really heard anything, but I thought it was somewhat of a prominent team.
Huh.
He's not. He was the Ravens last year. Jack, gonna get on that. Who's Odell play for? Somebody will send me a text. Matt House out there. Flare out to DiMarzio, who was stuffed for no game. Yeah, that was amazing how bad that turned out. Odell.
Well, I was listening to on Monday. We were off school, so had a rare opportunity to listen to the Rizzo show on KNR, and Tony got on the radio, was talking about if one person calls and tells me how good Joe Flacco is or Baker Mayfield, he goes, I'm going to resign. In the first call, I'm sure they set him up. The first call, hey, how about Baker Mayfield? 5 touchdowns last week.
Little short out tiptoe in Ashton Marshall, and I think he can move those chains. Great job, great footwork there. Walking the tightrope. All right, help me out. I got my son is working in Cleveland, like I said, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He says, I know there's Jay-Z. Is there a Jeezy? Right, I think that's a younger artist.
Yeah, Jeezy
He
was
saw
here
them.
yesterday.
Yeah, he sees them there as he does valet in there.
I don't know. Jeezy could be. It could be anybody.
Stouffer looking out over top there. Couldn't connect with Palmier. All right, here's a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm going to make this multiple choice.
Yep.
Which of these artists are not in the Hall of Fame?
Go ahead.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. All right.
Yep.
Got to make sure I'm coming up with my fourth answer real quick here.
4 answers?
Fourth answer. All right. So these three, pretty prominent. Phil Collins, individually.
Solo. Okay, because Genesis,
Styx,
I believe. Styx.
Peter Gabriel. If you picked, who do you think of those is not?
It's not
So Peter Gabriel and Phil Collins both in
in
Genesis.
Genesis.
And DiMarzio getting to the outside, gets the corner, got plenty of room, lays a hammer, and he picks up about 14. Nice job by number 15. Which are deserving of a Hall of Fame career, and which do you think's in?
Well, I don't know. Phil Collins had a ton of hits, solo hits, and Genesis. Peter Gabriel, same thing, had a great record. So in the late '80s,
Yep.
Styx had a ton of hits in the set. Is Styx not in the Hall of
They're
Fame?
not in the. They haven't even been nominated.
Wow,
I went and saw them Stark County Fairlight. They got a great Mount Rushmore of songs.
they do. They do. I mean,
Phil-
Tommy was
So who's more deserving of the former Genesis, Phil Collins or
Phil Collins.
Yeah.
Phil
no,
Collins.
Peter Gabriel. Guess he's one of those, eclectic guys. But I mean, Phil Collins is.
Yeah, one of the greatest songs ever in the air tonight.
Yeah. So, no shout out to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame committee there.
Some interesting selections over the years. It's like Dolly Parton. Dolly Parton was nominated and declined.
Yeah.
she was like, I'm not
pure
a rock.
country.
Yeah, I'm not rock and roll.
Hey, Willie Nelson, I think Willie Nelson made it. Whatever. All right, 2nd and 8 here. Might want to talk some football. Apologies there. Frank and I get a little off topic.
digress.
Hopefully. Stouffer, a little pump fake, breaks a tackle, makes a cut, and he's going to get close to first down.
I was at the first concert for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1993.
Wow, at the stadium.
Yep, I did. My wife, girlfriend at the time, Dosia, she surprised me with tickets, and we went up, and boy, what a concert that was.
Yeah,
Saw
I
a
remember
lot of
watching
great
on
acts.
TV.
I was there. Old Municipal Stadium. It was it was oversold, and there was quite a scene in the bathroom, if you could imagine.
It was a wonderful dump. I loved that place.
That place was.
Gabe got knocked back on 3rd and 1. I read a couple articles this summer about they used to have the World Series of Rock. I'm sure a few of our listeners every summer, and some concerts and some unique happenings going on there. And I'm sure there's some unique happenings at that concert you were at there. So that's going to take us to the end of the 3rd quarter. The Raiders lead the Leopards 42-20. This is your Sports Network and Spotlight Media. All right, we're back at Louisville Leopard Stadium, YMCA, being played by the Pride of Louisville Leopard Band. 4th and 1. Leopards heavies to the right. Stouffer on the rollout. Looks like he's going to get it with a couple yards to spare. Of course, the start of the 4th quarter leads to the most exciting segment of Frank and I's broadcast. It's the Frank Grimm 4th quarter cookie critique.
And boy, do we have something special tonight. Fall is in the air. And as you know, when it's fall season, it's pumpkin season. And Tom Monner, our chief baker up here in the press box, came strong tonight with the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. If I have one complaint, they're too small. I like my cookies to be hand sized. These are a little bit small for me. But I would tell you what, packed with flavor. As Gabe gets upfield for a nice gain of about 8 here on first down, a little quarterback keeper. And since my wife is not listening tonight, I can go ahead and say that I'm about 6 to 7 pumpkin cookies deep tonight, and it's by far my favorite of the year. And one bite, everyone knows the rules. Man, not bad. I'm gonna go 9-1 on this. I like pumpkin and I like chocolate chips, 2 of my favorite things.
9-1, wow. Very good cookie. I would not put that at the top of the Tom resume. Very good cookie, but man, Tom's been lights out.
Tom has been lights out.
I would give that. That's about all league, maybe second team all district cookie. He's had a couple. He has an all-stater and an all-American. He had the one, I don't know what it was, a monster cookie, a little bit of everything. All right. What was the one? Was it last week? Had the M&Ms on top?
Last week, I don't know if that was Tom's though. Tom had the no bakes last week.
Yeah, Tom the no bakes. That's right. He had the oatmeal. He had one oatmeal.
I believe Mrs. Burke last week had the cracker-based cookies that were so good.
Yeah,
I didn't
so
have
Tom
any.
brings great there. So 9-1 for Frank.
9-1.
All right. Do I hear a helicopter? The Fox 8 News there. Stouffer looking from behind, escapes troubles, gets forward for a couple. Good job sensing his internal quarterback clock there. Looked like he was going to get clocked.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one thing. Gabe is going to be sore in the morning.
He's taking some shots.
He is taking some shots.
Which is, unfortunately, quarterback comes with hazard pay at times. So, 2nd and 7. Stouffer gives a little counter to Mars. He's got some room all the way to the 5 to the 3-yard line, and we got a late penalty. That's going to hold that. Looks like it's going to be a looks in the area holding, but it's downfield, so it's probably going to be 2nd and 10, I'm going to guess here. Actually, it's about 2nd and 8.
Personal foul, face mask, number
Ah.
12.
All right, we'll take that. That's going to make that 1st and 4 to 1st and 2 if my division's right. All right. So Chase Wondercheck is ready to snap it to number 5. Quarterback keep. He gets a second effort, breaks a tackle, and he is in.
Yeah,
Gabe Stouffer, touchdown number 3, and the Leopards cut that lead to 16 points with 9:16 left. Frank, is this a go for 2 or kick it?
2. You have to go for 2 here. That puts it at 28, and that puts you 2 touchdowns down.
So right now they'd be 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point conversions, and they're gonna go for it.
You know, I don't know what year it was, but do you remember the year when the little coaching card came out that told you the scenarios and what to do? I remember picking one up at the Ohio State Clinic back when I was coaching in the 90s. And it takes the guesswork out of when you should go for 1, when you should go for 2.
Frank's an analytics guy.
I coach on field, but I mean, I think there's some value to
there is
analytics.
some. Yeah, we got
Yeah, we got
shuffling,
false
so
start here.
I'm gonna have to
False start
kick it here.
on the offense.
Well,
Yeah.
what's interesting really in the last few years, it's when you're down 14
Yeah.
and you score to cut it to 1 possession,
Mm-hmm.
the analytics tell you should go for 2 because I think the thought is you got a 50-50.
Okay.
So you got a 50-50, so hopefully it evens out if you don't make it the first time second. So, and then if not, if you make the first one, now you got a chance to win the game. So you have a better chance of winning long run. So I don't know if I'd be gutsy enough to go with that logic, but I've seen
know.
Kevin Stefanski
Well,
do that. We've been down a lot this year. Unfortunately, we haven't been able to
you see
kick
how
many
well
extra-
that's been working
haven't
for
kicked
him.
Many extra points. Going to see Nick Chubb back. Going for it. Going to throw an up top to Marshall.
great
Nice
play.
little kind of box him out. The basketball player gets 2, and it's now a 42-28 game for the Leopards. Cut it to 14.
Cut it to 14. No, yeah, a lot of fight in the Leopards tonight offensively. We've looked pretty good here tonight offensively, surprising, especially in the second
There you go.
half.
Keeping that rhythm there. Nice job up front, having Aiden Norris back there. So the Leopards trying to think we play green when we come off a green at Canfield and Central. We struggled offensively. Tonight we're clicking against the Division 5 power South Range Raiders. And kind of we talked about trying to physically impose, and I think really it's kind of helping a little bit with, getting some holes a little bit. It's a little easier to hold those holes. And I think maybe a little easier to protect. And we saw against Green last week, we talked about their secondary. We're able to, Ashton Marshall was able to isolate there. Last week he went against Martin. What was Martin's first name?
Good. That kid was a
Great.
good ball player. Great,
Yeah.
Martin.
And they were a lot of, like I said, press cover too. So we're doing a good job. Ashton, a great job there, boxing out. Gabe making the connection, doing a good job with poise in the pocket. Great job on poise on his touchdown row, breaking tackles. Like a Stouffer, like his old man Stouffer back in the day.
Like his brother.
And like his brother Joey, great receiver for the Leopards there.
Had a nice career at Worcester.
All right, you kicking it deep, or might as well?
Well, we haven't. We've been kind of squibbing it up the middle here. That's why the
Got their hands team there. I might hit
Yeah.
a little wedge shots at 30. I don't know if we got a young kicker there. A lefty kicker. I didn't even put that together here. And he's going to kick the onside. Takes a roll.
oh,
and
it's out there.
the Leopards are excited. They got the
well,
ball.
we got it. Who came up with it?
And it looks like it is. I think it might have been Ashton Marshall.
Yeah, Ashton Marshall playing a game tonight.
I'm trying to think of the movie outside kicker. I think it was The Water Boy, right?
Yeah. Which could be my all-time favorite sports movie. I don't know what it is about The Water Boy. It's just as a former player and a former coach, it's just Fonzie's the head coach.
Yeah,
He's kind of appreciate
you
it.
got the Bandit, Smokey, or the Bandit. What was
the
Jerry
guy-
Reed in Smokey and the Bandit? What was his role?
Oh,
But he was the coach.
yeah, he
He's the
was,
bad guy
yeah.
coach.
Jerry Glanville.
No, Jerry Reed's the coach of the other team. but he was in Smokey and the Bandit. He was the
Oh.
guy that drove the truck.
Oh, yeah. You're right.
All right, Stouffer rolling out. He's got a guy open on the post and intercepted. Oh, well, fighting for it there. Looking at the backside post, just a little bit underthrown. And number 21.
Gavin Hiscock.
We
Is that
said-
his second pick tonight?
He's got a couple of catches, and I think that might be it. So that onside kick is short-lived. Leopards got him on their own territory, 9:05 left, so we've got to get a quick stop. And that's part two. Gabe just not getting a ton of reps throughout the year. Just had to plant throw backside, and nice play by the South Range corner, sticking with the route and making the pick underneath. Let's see if the Leopards can rebound from that turnover. Confusion up front. Quarterback keep. Toy. Out to the outside. TD, Tyler Davis, makes a tackle.
Good play by Tyler.
There's something there. You kind of have, you hear about that, remember in the offseason, the hip drop tackle, which,
Yeah. Yeah.
has you seen anything of that? I know they outlawed it really-ish, but we really haven't really heard it at all since that rule came in.
No.
It's hard to detect. I don't know if you've.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they look for, what they even consider a hip drop tackle, but I know it's you're basically pulling the ball carrier into your hip and then kind of collapsing and rolling on him. But
kind of roll on their
yeah.
leg is a worry, but it's pretty hard. I mean, it's sometimes you're just trying to get a guy down.
well,
so.
yeah, it's by any means necessary.
I think they should ban the Minka Fitzpatrick take out Nick Chubb's knee tackle.
Is Nick Chubb? Did he get?
He's back this week.
Is it, they released? I mean, they
He's
they
active.
activated.
He's activate. Maybe the best one. I don't know if I could say the best Cleveland Brown, but he's right away. You got Myles Garrett, but one of the all-time great Cleveland Brown. Definitely the expansion here. Probably the most beloved Cleveland Brown.
Cleveland, I
Kosar.
can see Cleveland appreciating Nick Chubb. You know, a lunch pail type of player. Doesn't talk too much. Doesn't appear in a ton of commercials. He's never in trouble. He just does his job. I can see how that's appealing to Cleveland.
All right, so 3rd and 2 there. Toy gives it to Dominguez. He's got the end. He's got plenty of room, and Colton Loy makes a tackle there. I think we're bringing our corner over, so we don't really have an outside leverage guy. That's kind of Loy's job there with the tight end. Yeah, I will say, I kind of got obviously hurt last year against the Steelers on Monday night, but
Yeah, that was tough.
kind of hearing that, the Steeler faithful were really respectful. Even Mike Tomlin himself, I think he always refers to him as Mr. Chubb.
Mr. Chubb. And I don't know if you've ever seen his E60, ESPN E60. What a great backstory he has.
I have
From
not
Chubbtown?
seen that. No.
Chubbtown, Georgia. Just a
Slant across the middle. South Range hasn't thrown a lot, but I tell you what, when they do, they're on target and they're
Yeah.
crisp and they got nice schemes and nice timing. Nice catch there by Nate Lewis, I'm sorry. 7:22 and counting here in the 4th quarter. So give me a little sprinkling of what the Nick Chubb background is.
So he grew up in a tiny little town in Georgia that's actually named after his descendants. It's called Chubbtown, and just high school. Oh Lord!
Toy gonna make a delivery here. 55 yards.
Wow.
And the Raiders go up 48-28. Just getting that second level and, like you say, getting second level blocks where you don't have those pursuing angle tacklers.
Yep. South Range, just well-coached team.
They've definitely earned our respect in the box there. We call it. I talked about before the game. As a Leopard, I'm going to challenge these guys, saying, "Hey, they haven't played the schedule we have, but man, they are putting it to us more than anybody else has this year." Starkey, PAT number 7, 7 for 7 here. 6:48 left. Back to the Nick Chubb story.
So, basically came from nothing. Went to a rinky-dink local high school. full athletic scholarship to Georgia, where he blew his knee out at Georgia. Came back, had to share reps with a guy named Sony Michel. I don't know if you remember that name. Sony Michel, first-round draft pick of the New England Patriots. And this is his journey to overcome, and just his roots and where he came from, and the history of his family. I don't want to give it away. You can probably watch it on YouTube. It's E60 presents Nick Chubb, and it was just a fantastic documentary. He's hard not to like. I mean, I'm a staunch Steeler fan. I can't name one Cleveland Brown that I have ever liked, except Bill Cowher. Okay.
How about Chuck Noll? You know, like
Chuck. Well, yeah. Of course, Chuck played guard for Cleveland in the 50s, I believe. Went to Baldwin Wallace. Did you know that? And then.
Yep. Actually, I think, did he go to Baldwin Wallace or Case Western?
Well, he may have went to Case. I don't think about that.
All right. Nice little run there. I believe that was Jake Palmier, maybe?
Yep, that was Jake.
All right, so Leopard 643. Got our offense. Been having some nice drives there, building some nice momentum here in the second half there. Well, you know this song by the band.
Little Bismarcky.
Yep. We say he's just a friend. We say he's just a friend.
Oh, baby, you.
All right, shout out to Chris Weininger for spinning the DJ tunes there from the band bleachers.
Chris does a great job with our band. He's really taking it to the next level.
Chris been here, I think, since about 30 years. He was here right around my beginnings back in the mid-'90s. Training under Richard Patrick and then Karen Long, and he's been running the show for probably, I'm going to say, the last about 20-ish years here.
Probably.
Abby Markowitz and our new director that, you write his name down, Stouffer is looking up top, and he is smartly holds on to it. I don't know, number 34, we said that number before.
Yeah, for sure.
Aiden Dominguez.
6'3", 200-pound senior, number 34.
Looking at just looking at playoff picture, and like we said, Leopards they moved up despite a loss last week. They're 15, and then according to one of my sources, according to wasn't Joe Idle, but one of the what's the thing that does little percent chances? I think they have a 23% chance of making playoffs, even if they lose tonight. That might have been even losing both because they're bottom of their division. Stouffer gets the outside, gets that feel. He's got a little Johnny Manziel-ish to him, doesn't he?
That he does. He has a little wiggle.
On the field. A lot better off the field than Johnny.
I mean, no comparison.
There's a different type of, I forget what, that was a Netflix one on him. I think it was a train wreck and a half.
I think Gabe watches film. I'm not 100% sure.
Gabe's a smart young man, hard worker. So he run track, nice basketball player. All right, directs the fourth down here. 5:55. Stouffer got that out route. Unfortunately, he didn't time up well, and the Leopards are going to turn the ball over on downs. Talking about the Louisville band, they'll be heading to state. They earned a superior rating early in the band season, so they earned another trip to state down in the Columbus.
Mix in his 80s, I bet.
Yeah.
Keith Richards somehow still alive.
Yeah, and yellow's not our great.
Yeah, yellow's not a great.
What's the worst color scheme of all time? I already got that one. That's an easy one.
Yeah, brown and white. Orange and white.
Well, brown and yellow. Brown and yellow is bad.
Baldwin Wallace has some
San
bad
Diego
uniforms.
Padres is there's not much you can do.
No, there's not much. Who decided at Baldwin Wallace to say, you know what would be a great color scheme? Let's make it look like a baby turd. Whose idea was that?
No diaper wipes for that one there.
Yes.
And I love my Browns. Brown and orange are pretty handicapped.
Yeah,
brown and yellow. I still think the Browns, they should go for their, they with the color rush. They should just go fluorescent orange.
Yes, I love the Browns color rush jerseys.
What's that? Your cousin. That was my runner-up, Kenny Bob Smith, former great teacher. He even wrote my recommendation. He kind of had a little joke recommendation how that was my main one in case. But Mr. Smith, great history teacher. I thought that was behind line scrimmage, but B-Dub.
Yeah, was that a forward pass?
I thought it was forward, but
they're
didn't call
going to
it.
talk about it right here. They're gonna, no,
And keep that clock running there. Thrown out to Dominguez. All right.
I do like orange, black, and white as a color, like Maslin colors.
Orange. It's about. I'm gonna give it a C. It's just,
C.
it's tired. I like orange with blue, orange with navy. You don't see that a lot.
Like,
And even orange,
like
with little baby
Seahawks.
blue.
Like, what about Seahawks?
Seahawks, for the modern look, I like the little fluorescent. Look at South Range. They're up 20, and they're hustling line of scrimmage.
What about black and yellow?
Black and yellow, black and yellow. Not the Bristol bubble, but yellow in general is not a good go-to. Navy and yellow is tolerable. Black
Navy
and yellow.
and yellow.
Yeah, like
Michigan? What?
Yeah, I can handle. I mean,
What?
nothing but black and yellow. Nothing against the Stillers, but they wear well. I gave the tradition. When the neat thing, you ever go to an NFL game is just seeing like the icon. I mean, I'll go down by the field before I went and saw the Browns Giants. Just seeing those iconic helmets, just the uniform.
Yep,
That's why I'm glad the Browns went back. I mean, the other uniforms were beyond terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Their classic look. Yeah, the Steelers. What's the story? Why do they only have logo on one side? Nice tackle there on the open field.
There's a
by
story
Louisville.
behind that. I can't recall the story right off the top of my head.
Budget cuts or what by the Roonies back in the day. The
Back in the
Steelers were
30s.
terrible for like 40 years
Yeah.
before Chuck Noll.
I believe Art Rooney bought the Steelers in 1932. He went to the track. He went to the racetrack. He won $12,000 or something like that, and he put it with some money that he had saved, and he bought the Steelers for like $36,000.
And they were terrible for literally till about 19.
Yeah.
I mean, they were
1969.
And the flip side, the Browns were literally that time were really the class of the league. Things have changed since, to say the least. Steelers are
Drafted Terry Bradshaw Joe Green in 1969, Terry Bradshaw in 1970, and the rest is history.
I think I've talked about before, not this year, but I read the Chuck Noll biography. It was fascinating. Chuck Noll, really eclectic guy, but really talk about their players. Mean Joe Green was literally mean, and he had trouble just keeping his composure.
Yeah,
he would
right.
get so angry. I think of him as the Coke commercial towards the end of his career, but he literally had a hard time. It would be a detriment to him. And then Terry Bradshaw actually really struggled for a good part of his career. And he always felt Chuck Noll was against him, where Chuck was trying to support him. But
he had a complex relationship with Coach Noll.
And pushing forward there as the clock getting under 3 minutes there. Bring Rob on here. Got our buddy Rob Johnson. Rob, any reflections here on playoff baseball, Steeler football, anything else there, color schemes?
I haven't had a chance to really keep up with the baseball score. They were
3-2.
We were.
Update there. Jack, where you at, Jack? It's 3-2. Come on, man.
We were told not to announce it during the game here in the stadium, so we just.
Jack's dealing with our technical.
We've been having
You're doing a great job, Jack. I'm teasing you, of course. He does a phenomenal. Sorry, Rob.
Nope, you're good. You're good. My reflection is, man. Well, there we go. That's what we needed to do.
I haven't had much of those in the backfield. I have not gotten the backfield.
No, I'll tell you what. I have to say South Range is a very disciplined team. Just very methodical. They are good at what they do. I have to say that. And that big back is quite a runner.
Nice runner. Josh Naylor drove in Stephen Kwan there for the Guardians.
Just a heads up to our folks out there. The cross-country teams compete tomorrow at Glen Oak and the county meet.
All right. And they'll be
district,
heading there.
district meet.
I'm sorry. Coach Grimm's all knows. Have you
guys done any? I know you go out. You've done a little bit of cross, right? You get some.
Yeah, we usually go out and get a little shots and pictures and stuff like that. It's been a little.
And their backup quarterback gets stuff there. I would say cross country. If you've never been to cross country, it's very different than what you picture. it's like a festival. It's really a lot of energy.
I'll tell you what.
My son ran cross country. One of my sons, Drew,
I love
out
it.
there sometimes listening. It's fun. It's a quick race, and it's a different atmosphere.
I'll tell you what. I love going to the cross country meets and so forth. the energy that comes from those kids is just unbelievable. They're great kids.
As a parent, it is one of the best sports to be a parent. You're there for 20 minutes, and then you're home. Like, it is one of the best sports as a parent.
Kind of like a track invitational, right? 20 minutes,
exactly.
about 7 hours.
Yeah,
20
between
minutes.
races.
And I'll tell you what, a lot of people don't know this, but our cross-country teams usually rank at the top of the tiers in the county and the state.
Yep, for sure. Generally, we've had a real good run. And
First state championship Louisville history, 2010.
Yep, a little shameless plug for one of our cross-country and track girls, Haley Jackson, this week, verbally committed to Marshall University.
Wow.
Another Division I athlete to come out of our track and cross-country programs. We're certainly proud of Haley, and for that decision, I know she had a lot of colleges and universities, recruiting her pretty heavily, and she felt real comfortable down in Huntington, and she's going to be a member of the herd.
Frank's been down there. Of course, his legendary father, a great man.
Thank you.
Ricky
Riggs, captain of the 68 team at Marshall.
looking up top. So you got a man as it caught just out of the reach. Nice coverage there by Luke Seaman. The Leopards are going to take over. Wonder if we'll get our young freshman. Wonder if Cody Zale will get a little action here in the final minute 49 there.
Minute 49 left here.
So Louisville will travel to Worcester for the finale, and I think they have a good shot if they win that. Worcester 2-6. I got to see them play a couple weeks ago against Dover. They got a nice team. They got a nice running back. So Leopards, I think, going to be battling for their playoff lives. They got to bounce back from some encouragement, definitely to say the least, offensively, and some discouragement for a defense that's really played well all year. Really struggled tonight, so kind of reversed roles this week.
Gabe Stouffer still a quarterback
He's
for the
going to go up
Leopards.
top there, and he has, I believe,
Wow,
Ashton,
replay.
No, did they give him the catch or not? Ashton Marshall
Wow.
pulls up. Just knocked out late.
Did he drop it, or did he just not? Did he just not get his
It looked
feet
like
down?
I think when he hit the ground, it popped
Yeah.
out.
I'll tell you what, I love watching him go up for it, with his leaping ability.
Yeah, he could be like Antonio Gates there, late bloomer. Maybe we'll see him on Sundays.
He has had some impressive dunks during basketball season here the last couple of years.
Stouffer rolling out there, looking at the second level, throws a floater. Nice catch there by, I believe that's Jake Palmier.
Incomplete.
Well, that incomplete. I thought he had it. Did it pop out there?
My favorite Ashton Marshall dunk is the one he came
At Massillon.
he had one at home. It was off of a free throw. He come down the lane kind of Jordan-esque and dunked it.
He had one against Menor, caught it on the wing, took one dribble and dunked it over a kid. It was at Massillon, but we were playing Menor, whatever that holiday classic tournament we play in.
A lot of hops on him and the rest of the Leopard football team there. Give up the gut to Docker. He's got a lot of room. He's going to pick up about 16, 17 yards, pushing that pile forward. Frank, what's the highest you got? What could you put one down? Can you dunk a volleyball?
Yeah, I could dunk a basketball. Yeah, in college. In college, when I was being trained correctly at University of Mount Union, we did a lot
Look
of
at the
plyometrics.
seams. They got Colton. I think it's going to be intercepted. What a great play by number 31.
Jimmy Powell.
Jimmy Powell puts a pow on that play, and that's going to put a pow on this football game with 1:11 left.
Stick with us after the game. After the game, we'll have the ceremonies for the seniors. Frank and Mac will probably off enjoying their relaxation, but stick with Jack and I will finish up tonight.
All right. We have a player of the game tonight.
Well,
mine would be for kind of almost a great play tonight in Lifetime Achievement. My nominee is Cooper Rice, I think.
Yeah, hard not to think about Cooper. He has really held it together for us this year, especially defensively. Obviously, Gabe Stouffer has to be, in the conversation. Gabe has played
there.
Yeah, I would have to say Cooper, especially that kick return. Wow.
Explosive play by Cooper. And teams just don't, throw at him that often. I mean, he's proven himself over the last couple of years being really good defensive back. So let's go ahead. Rob, you okay with giving it to Coop?
I am. I'm with you. So.
Congrats to Cooper. Gabe Stouffer in his first offensive start. Showed a lot of promise. It'll definitely be next year. Brings a lot of talent. I've got a lot of talent here. Hopefully, we can build up. But we got one more week. Got a chance to get to week 11. So the Leopards fall to 3-6. South Range improves to 9-0. Coach Kappas and company will be back to the drawing board this weekend. Working on seeing some things. They're going to play a physical Worcester team. Has a really good running back. So Leopards going to have to shore up some things defensively. Hopefully, a lot of good momentum to build on offensively. Frank, any last thoughts?
Well, as we wrap up our home season, I think there's a lot to be, impressed with this year. A lot of positive changes for the Leopards, especially competitively. We were prepared for every game. We played hard every game, and I think the boys have a lot to be proud of. The senior group, obviously, I'm sure probably wanted to end their home career on a little different note, but nonetheless, here we are. They have nothing to be ashamed of. They can hold their head high, and I really think when they look back on it, this is the team that's going to be able to say, hey, we started the momentum in the right direction, and we're getting Leopard football back to where it needs to be. And this senior group obviously is pivotal in that happening.
So
we're going to send it over to Jack here. Let us get us some airtime here with the alma mater, and I want to thank Frank and Mac for coming on with us tonight. We had a great time, and they're right, guys. Leopard football may not have got one tonight, but the future's bright. So,
all right. Well, I appreciate my buddy Frank. This is Mac Aljanza. Hand it over to our buddy Rob and Jack. Take it away.